Hi, this is Ron Wider, and I'm coming to you from my front yard here in sunny Florida. So, I don't have a lot of time. I'm heading out to go get some sandbags. There's a hurricane coming, so I gotta make this video pretty quick. So this is some ideas of things that you can do to prep for a hurricane, or I guess any natural disaster. But if you to prep for a hurricane, that things that does not involve you going to the store and getting gas. So if it's late in the game, right, and you don't already have your food preps and your water preps and your gasoline preps and all that stuff, then well, shame on you. Honestly, you should already have had that stuff done. There's going to be traffic. There's nothing I can do about that. Anyway, here are the things. Here are the things that you can do right now that does not involve you going to the store to help you for a hurricane. So you can fill your freezer full of containers of water. So little water bottles, if you have them. But get as much water in your freezer as possible, so that so as much room is taken up in your freezer. And the reason for that is your freezer will stay colder longer the more stuff you have in it, and having water in there is a great idea. So if you have water bottles, that would be great. If you have bags of ice, you can put that in there. Whatever it takes to fill up your freezer. To fill up your freezer the best you can with water. The other thing you can do is put ice in your washer machine. So if you have a washer machine, fill it up with ice if you can. If that's something you're able to do, fill it up with ice. Then you can put drinks in there and not have to open your freezer to get a cold drink. So that's another great idea. Sanitation. So the first one was food storage. The second one is sanitation. I got a little list here. So the second, sanitation. Fill up your tub with water. That's that a lot of people have already thought of that. I hope you have. Fill up buckets with water. It's easier to flush your toilet with a bucket of water rather than scoop water out of a tub in order to put it into your toilet to flush it. Plus, the more water you have, whether it's for flushing or sanitation or whatever, the better. So fill up buckets with water. Fill up fill up your tub with water. Most of us have a little plastic waste bin, trash bin next to the toilet. Clean that thing out, because you can use that as a bucket if you needed to. Take your showers in advance of the storm. I mean, maybe that's a no-brainer, but take your showers before the storm comes. And of course, get your laundry done before the storm comes. The most you can, the best you can. All right, so that's sanitation. The next one is vehicle prep. So this is one of the, obviously we've already talked about getting gas, but if you don't have to go to anywhere to do these things. So if you don't already have gas, maybe it's too late, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But let's hope you have gas. But vehicle prep. Park your car backwards so that the back window is facing whatever building that you live in, right? So if you live in a house, you back it up to the house, the best, or in the garage if that's an option. But back your car up. Your windshield is much stronger than the back glass, so if the house protects the windshield from, or I'm sorry, the house will protect the glass, the back glass, from getting broken, and the windshield is tougher, so maybe you won't have a problem. If you have more than one car, try to separate them. Don't put them in the same place if you can. If something bad happens to one car, maybe it doesn't happen to the other. All right, so electronics. Any electronics that you want to, make sure that you want to protect, especially your computers. Maybe you do your banking on your computer. I don't know. Maybe you got lots of photos and video. Whatever keep your computer safe. One thing to do is make sure you unplug them, in case of flooding. And the other thing to do is elevate them from the ground. So the higher they are, the safer they are from flooding. And the other thing you should probably do is cover them with plastic in case the roof ends up leaking. So that'll protect your computers. You can consider that same advice for any electronic that you want to protect. Rechargeables. That's the next item on this list. Make sure all your rechargeables are charged up. this short list of rechargeables, you know, is not all inclusive, but it's the ones that I care about here. I have some outdoor power tools. In particular, I have a chainsaw. That's battery powered, so I have a chainsaw, weed eater, and a couple other things. But the chainsaw I want to make sure is powered up. I have power tools like drills and circle saw. I make sure that those things are powered up. Lights and lanterns, I make sure that all those things are charged up. Cell phone power banks, and if you have a safe, by the way, some of us have a safe where that's battery powered, you know, so that it's like a electronic safe. If you do, make sure the battery for your safe is good to go. Here's a couple of miscellaneous things. One, I don't know how many, you know, 5 or 6 of them, so I'm almost done. If you have a canoe, flip it right side up, fill it full of water. Again, you know, you don't know how long you're going to be without power, and that water would be perfect for you know, flushing and, you know, that kind of stuff for your if you have a canoe. Okay. The other thing it does, by the way, if you fill up your canoe full of water, is it makes it too heavy for the wind to blow away. So flip your canoe. Flip over your outdoor tables. When they're right side up, the wind can catch them. When they're upside down, the wind's not really going to do much, you know, to the legs of the table if the legs are up. Take a picture of important papers. Especially take a picture of any insurance paperwork that you might need in the future. Gather up your important papers, of course. I think that, you know, make sure you have all your important papers gathered up in a good spot. Everybody talks about birth certificate and social security card, but you also might want to take advantage of or keep up with your insurance papers, marriage certificate, divorce certificate, any of those kinds of things. Anything you consider important. All right, so make sure your important papers are together. Here's a couple. Here's a good one. If you enjoy coffee, make your coffee ahead of time. You know, you can heat up coffee in some other fashion if it's already made. So you consider making your coffee ahead of time. Know where your nearest shelter is in case you have to leave your home. Hopefully you don't, but know where your nearest shelter is in case you have to leave your home. Make sure you have a USB charger in your car and that it's working. Yeah, so make sure you have a USB charger in your car and that it's working. Of course, anything that you think you might have to have with you if you had to leave. Leaving is not a good choice, well, almost ever. It's almost never a good choice. But if you do make that choice to leave your shelter, your home, right? Make sure that you have, all the important things that you might want to have. If you're one of those folks that have a bug out bag, you're not thinking about bugging out into the woods. However, a bug out bag also makes for a good homeless shelter and a homeless kit. If you find yourself in that kind of situation. So anyway, gather up all your important things. So there we go. Those are some of the tips. Like I said, I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. Some of them are miscellaneous. Some of them might not apply to you. You may or may not have a canoe, for example. But I hope you fare well during the storm. Please like, share, comment, especially comment. If I missed an idea that you think is important, say so in the comments, and I'll be sure to maybe do an update on this video, or the next time I do one like this, I can have your idea in there too. All right. Thanks again. Thanks for watching, and be safe out there. Bye now.